It's been a long time, hasn't it? Welcome, guys. My name is Jadan Echo. I just dropped an album called When Voices Turn to Echoes. I'll play a snippet right now. And yeah, I just wanted to come back to my YouTube channel and actually make a video for once instead of, dropping music like I'm supposed to. And do something like I did way back before and make a tier list on my whole entire discography. For those who know me before, trust me, the tier list for this time compared to before is completely different. That's why you can't really find my old video. I decided to take it down because, honestly, it ain't it, chief. But yeah, let's go on and get ahead with the tier list. So here, as you can see, we got F, E, D, C, B, A, S. S, God tier. It's a God tier song. Ain't nothing touching it. You got A, almost God tier, but there's like that one thing that's probably missing for it to be God tier. You have B, pretty good. Just, it's a pretty good song. Not amazing or mind-blowing, but pretty good. You got C, which is kind of mid. It's alright. You're not going out of your way to listen to it, but it's not a bad song. You got D, it's kind of underwhelming. You could have wished something a bit better. E, that's when, there's only, one good thing about it. Probably, the beat or feature just carried it, like it says. And F, just never mentioned those songs to me ever again. I wish they were deleted. So yeah, I'll just start from the lowest tier, F, and just work my way up instead of going by release dates. I feel like that'd be a bit easier. But yeah, in terms of F, there's only 2 tracks. Blue Skies and A Tribute to Legends. I don't think I need to explain myself on that. In terms of E, I'm gonna have to go with a couple. First one, Stick Around. I think that it's a good beat, has some pretty good one-liners, but it's just an intro song that's really not that good. The mixing's awful. Also, I don't know why First Place is there twice. I think it must have glitched. I'm not sure, but okay. Next, I'm gonna have to say Cutting Ties. I think Cutting Ties is horribly mixed. My vocals are not it, chief. One-liners aren't really there, and overall, it's just the vibe that carries it. I don't know. There's something about that vibe that's decent, but yeah, it ain't it. Next, I gotta say Cash Cow, man. Cash Cow, I feel like the feature carried Young 808. I don't know what he's doing now, but I think he really carried this song because that second verse is not it, in my opinion. I don't know. The reverb is all messed up. My singing ain't there, and the beat's alright. And for my last track on E, I gotta say, I think Drive Alone has to be there. Don't get me wrong, I like Andy's feature. It's pretty cool. I think we could have done more with it at the time, but I'm gonna be honest, I just can't really stand my singing. I think Andy's feature is pretty good. I don't really like the writing on it anymore. It seems a bit cringe, and I made the beat, so I'm gonna have a special place in my heart for it a bit. I think it's decent, but yeah, nothing really that outstanding on it. Alright, next we got the D tier. Underwhelming songs. What songs did I think I could have done better, if we're being realistic? Well, first, this is gonna be a bit depressing for some people, but I gotta put the original Clicked Up. The original Clicked Up, I feel like it was good at the time. It showed I could rap, but being honest, it's really just a ribbity rap, fast trap, whatever you want to call rap song that, in all honesty, isn't saying much. Next, I gotta put Better Times. Better Times is a decent song. I don't think it's mid-worthy because I feel like other songs are better at mid. Feel like it doesn't really fit in with those songs, as we'll get later into the tier list. But yeah, I don't know. Better Times, Thailand did alright. Each did his thing. I did my thing. The beat's alright, but it could have been so much more. You get me? Next, I gotta put, personally, at the time, it was my favorite off the album, but I gotta put Spotlight. Spotlight, I think, has a really good beat. I really like the beat still. The chorus isn't really there. It's just ribbity rap as fast as I can. Whoa, wow. And yeah, the verses, I think, are pretty decent, but it's nothing home to write about. It's like, okay, it's a pretty underwhelming ribbity rap song you've heard every single rap artist do at the beginning of their career. To be honest, I wasn't really gonna add this on the tier list, but it's technically part of my discography. I'm going to put my Take What You Want cover from Post Malone. From my graduation for high school, I think it is a fundamental part of my career because it's the first time I experimented with autotune, and to be honest, it didn't really work out. But it laid the foundation for autotune, and I feel like as time has gone on with me and autotune, I feel like I've expanded on it so much better. And as Termin's feature, Andy did all right with her, earbud microphone. And Thailand killed it, but, nothing's going to beat the original. And then now we're breaking into newer territory, because now we're moving a bit from ignorantly talented, and I'm going to be adding stellar succession stuff. Yes, it's in D tier. I gotta go with Sirens Next from stellar succession, because I feel like, man, ZDRX could have delivered so much more with that hook. I kind of felt underwhelmed, even at the time, but I still put it out. My verses are just, you know, basic. I don't really think there's anything that astounding from it. It's just, you know, just riffing on a verse. That's pretty much it. And the last song I gotta put, to be honest, on underwhelming is NYLA, because originally most people didn't know this, but NYLA was not supposed to be my song. It was supposed to be RJK's song that he wanted to do for a collab EP with me. But things didn't work out at the end, and he said, yo, I'm not really doing music anymore. You could take the song. So I went, all right, bet. And yeah, I released a song with him as a feature when it was supposed to be vice versa. To be honest, he did decent. Some lines I question. Some lines I question, but it's just an overall, you know, your basic rap song about your city that no one really cares about. All right, and we're done with D tier, baby. We got to go into the C. Mid. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I've released quite a couple mid songs. I mean, we've already seen I've released songs that are not good, so it doesn't surprise you that I've released mid songs. First, I don't know if this is an overshot or like way higher than most people are thinking, but I got to put Clicked Up Remix. I mean, Optimize definitely did what he could with those, like, I think it was like 20 seconds of a verse for the second verse. It's pretty much the same as the regular Clicked Up. I just got to say that Optimize raised it another tier from the original Clicked Up. Next, I got to put Commercial Man, another Optimize collab. I feel like that song had so much potential. The hook was pretty good, I'm not going to lie. I still kind of like the hook. Optimize's verse, he killed it, but damn, my verse was just so dog water at the end. I just started spitting some random stuff, and to be honest, yeah, that brings it down. I feel like without my verse and you would have gotten a better verse from me, I feel like it would have been B, but that verse just lowers it for me. Next, man, I gotta go with one of my friends' actually favorites from a while back. Like, he told me he loved this song, but I gotta go with Apollo, man. I don't know. I feel like Apollo, it's just a vibe track, kind of mid, running the road. Cash Money AP beat that I paid for that, I don't know, it's decent. What can I say? It's a mid song. Next up, I don't know if this will surprise people. Most people kind of like this song, but I don't think it's aged well at all, and it's Mood Swings. I think that Mood Swings could have been so much better than it was. Know how that's a phrase I keep saying in my early career. But yeah, I feel like Mood Swings, it had the 3 switch-ups, it had so much going for it, but again, just rapping wise, I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why that last verse is so ass. I definitely had a problem in 2020 where I tried to make bars and double entendres that just sounded so random. Like, bro, what are you doing? Just rap. But yeah, I mean, Thailand he did alright. I mean, he tried to switch up the hook, I will say, for Mood Swings, that I wasn't a fan of, and he really pushed it, but I kind of went, yo, this is my song, trust me. It's good. And to be honest, I think the hook's fine. I feel like the hook would have been worse if it was him, but yeah, I don't know. That last verse, I take the blame on. That's my fault. And his verse was just alright. Next, we got a song that, to be honest, I think most people expected, Out of Space. I think it's kind of a generic, uninspired rap song that, yeah, it's alright, but it's nothing really that crazy. J-Conic, it was cool to get him on the song. It was cool to get to know him, work with him, and I think he definitely delivered on it. But I wouldn't say he delivered it with 5-star, like, wow, this is the best thing I've ever seen. It was like, okay, this is a good verse. And my verse is just, it's again, nonsense. And for the last song on mid, maybe I shouldn't do this, but I'm overcritical about myself, as you can see. But I gotta put my interlude on my new album, the Lost Metro League Freestyle. Say Your Kid really did good on the instrumental. When I heard it, I was like, I definitely want to use this. I just gotta fit it right on this album, because I knew it wasn't 100% what the sound was at the time for that album. But I felt like it worked as a good, like, change of pace, interlude vibe, kind of freestyle. And if you see my Instagram, I showed you how I made it. Yeah, I just think it's just a heartfelt, pouring out track that you're not going out of your way to listen to it, but it's not bad. It's just, you know, freestyle vibes. And of course, my luscious, beautiful camera that was recording my sexy face just cuts out of nowhere. So, guess you're going no cam with this. Appreciate my face while you had it. Alright, now Now we get into the songs where if you want to listen to my music, you start from being above, to be honest. First, I gotta go with the song that I guarantee so many people underrated because people got offended by it probably or just didn't want to believe it, but it's Played You. I love the hook on Played You so much. I love the verses. I love the way I'm attacking at people for being hypocritical and just not supporting, people they know and people that they know that want to succeed, but they just can't give the love for it. I do think the mixing is a bit iffy though. I definitely got comments saying the S sound on that song was a bit much, which I agree with. But I don't know. It's a pretty good song that I feel like it's underrated, to be honest. Next, I gotta say, I know some of my friends are gonna disagree with this because they don't really like this song, but me personally, I really do enjoy this song. It's first place. I think that me doing drill is not as bad as my friends think, but yeah. First place, I think it's a pretty good drill banger. I try to mix up the auto-tune with the drill. Most people don't really do that. They more just rap on the thing. I knew my nasally ass voice isn't gonna fit on a drill beat, just pure rapping on it. So I thought, okay, make a bit of melody and make a bit of groove to it, and then you got something. And I think I did that. I think it's a bit cocky, a bit narcissistic, but that fits into the album because the album, spoilers in case nobody knows what the theme about the album is or haven't caught on it, it fits more with the type of vibe like I'm breaking apart, I don't care what people say, I'm just gonna speak my mind, and I'm slowly crumbling inside, and these voices in my head, despite me working so hard and being so overly cocky, at the end I talk about I still feel like I don't mean anything, I still feel like I haven't worked hard enough. Next, I got the single that I released for this album, and it's Am I Old Enough Yet? And I think Am I Old Enough Yet? It's a really good song. I feel like the hooks, as they go along, if you notice, they increase more and more with vocal layers, and I really like that touch. I just think some of the lines, some of the verses, they're a bit iffy. Not in a bad way, it's more like, oh, this is a bit much. This sounds a bit depressing. And I think that it captures a raw side of me that I always hide and always try to avoid speaking about. But I feel like it was good to let that out for once, even if it sounds a bit cringe or a bit, like, depressing in general. Next, man, I gotta put the other single that dropped with this when I dropped the two at the same time. I gotta put Can't Stay. I really think this hook was so good at the time. Now it's a pretty good hook, but it's not my favorite hook ever that I've done, like how it was before. But I think I delivered on the verse. It's just a standard verse about the song topic, and if we're being real, no drama, no whatsoever, I think Wvtte did a good job on the verse, but there was definitely some issues I had with it that I've grown to look past in a bit, but I acknowledge that maybe the mixing wasn't the best, maybe the written stuff about his verse was just okay. I feel like I could have gotten a better verse, but hey, I'm not one to complain. It came out pretty good, and that's about it. And as you can see, I'm not trying to be biased here. I'm trying to be truthful with what I say and kind of keep it concise, really. And also just be truthful about the features. Like, just because I got them on my song and it's my song and I'm cool with some of them doesn't mean I'm going to be like, oh yeah, they're amazing, they're gods here. No, it's just truth. But yeah, the last song I gotta put on pretty good is Dreams or Nightmares. I feel like it surprised me that most people really like this song. Because I thought it was just more like, it's a good album song. You got Danny spitting. I really like his verse. I really love my hook on the first half. I just think that second verse, it's good. It's very raw. But that both gives and takes away from the song. Because I feel like that verse is more for me rather than the public. So hearing y'all say like, oh, I love the switch up and everything, I'm like, oh god, people have actually heard me really rock bottom. And I don't know, I feel like that kind of messes with my brain and kind of makes me go, maybe it's not God's here, maybe it's just and yeah, basically just me being self-conscious about a song is why I'm probably putting it pretty good, and most people are putting it amazing. But to me, man, it's just a good song. It's not the best song from the album. It definitely isn't. And boy, oh boy, we going on to the 8s here, baby. I'm gonna be honest. From here on out, I feel like these are songs I actually listen to, like, every day or most days. All the other songs, yeah, every once in a while. Like, obviously, my new album, I'm listening to it a lot more than the other songs from that same tier. Like, I'm listening to Dreams or Nightmares more than Played You. But that's just because it's new. But yeah, definitely in terms of older songs, anything from A and S, I consider listening a good bit. But yeah, starting off at A, I gotta put my Spanish song, Guatemala. Gil definitely killed his like 30-second verse. I really think that hook was pretty good. Had a mixture of like, Spanish and English vibes, and like that trumpet solo at the end though. That trumpet solo. But yeah, I think it's really good. Like it's really good. It's almost God tier, but there's something missing about it. It's like it needs that one final push that I feel like would have made it perfect. Next, I gotta put the anime intro type of vibe rock song, Not Enough with Flares. The funny thing is that Flares, when I showed him this beat, he was like, okay, bet, I got you. And like, he freestyled everything, he made the hook, he made the verse, I was like, okay. Then I recorded my side, recorded my verse, recorded my hook, which is just his hook, but I just kind of worked it in my own way a bit. But yeah, overall, I think it was really good. I really like how it came out, and I especially like the ending, kind of that raw emotion that comes out at the end. Next, we got, honestly, a song, when I made it, like half a year ago when I started teasing it, I thought it was S. But now, I don't know, I feel like the hook is what missing it to go into God tier, but it's Last Summer. Like I said, I feel like the hook is really good, but it's a bit too wordy. It's a nitpick of mine. But overall, the verses and the pre-chorus, like, woohoo! That's definitely one of the top moments of the album, which is that da 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 da. But yeah, it's an amazing track. It's just missing that one last thing. Next, I gotta put the hyper pop banger that I know I could do hyper pop, and I proved it to y'all on Memories Who Fight Back. Honestly, this came out exactly how I wanted it to be honest. Like, it had a killer hook, had a nice verse, and most people don't know this. I don't know if I mentioned it yet, but Flares was supposed to be on this song, but he wasn't feeling hyperpop, so I told him, hey, I know you do rock and you want to do rock, so here's Not Enough, and boom, blah, 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 we made that. But Memories, I really like how it turned out, to be honest. I really like the speediness, the beat. I feel like it just blended perfectly, but I feel like it was never meant the song to be like God tier, It's like an album cut that like, damn, you really did good on that song, and this is like an album song that most people don't know, but I'm taking it because it's one of the underrated songs. That's how I feel about it. Next, we got I'd say my most personal song. I'm probably gonna hate it as time goes on, but it's Wish It Was Easy. I'm not gonna speak on it too much because it's very personal song of mine. It's 100% not fake. It's genuinely what I felt, and I still kind of do feel. But yeah, if you've heard the song, I think you'll understand why it's almost God tier. It's just some mixing problems, but I kind of kept those mixing problems and kind of rough edginess to keep the emotion of the song. But yeah. And the last song that I feel like just encompassed the album completely and made it like 10 times better and more concise, Save Me. I feel like Save Me had one of my best verses, just one of my best performances written on the track. Some bars I'm pretty sure didn't even get caught, but it is what it is. But in terms of why it isn't God tier, I just feel like the mixing on the first half could have been slightly better. I feel like my vocals are a bit too high, but I definitely wanted to get this album out, so that slightly rushed me. But I don't know, it kind of has the same effect on me as Wish It Was Easy, that if it was just a bit more polished and clean and I wasn't so raw at the time with the recording, I feel like it could have been a God tier song. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, what you see right here, what you see right there, that's all my S songs, in my opinion. Remember, this is just my opinion. You can go make your tier list on your own time, send it to me, whatever you want to do with it, but this is just my opinion, and I do not know why first place is there. But yeah, let's go in order. Late Night, I mean, if you were there for Late Night when it dropped, you know how much of a banger it was at the time, and you know how much that auto-tune vibe was just sick. Like, that was when I first officially went into auto-tune. Like, the cover was the beginning. It was the foundation. Late Night was like, boom, we came right in. But yeah, Gil killed it, Flares killed it, absolute banger. My first S tier in my opinion. But yeah, then you got Horizon that I tried pop for the first time, and it really came out well. I remember I showed it to my friend Ivan, my friend Luis, and they were like, yo, this could actually blow up. It didn't, but I don't know. Who knows? Wvtte blew up from Trap Queen, and Trap Queen was released like 2 years before it blew up, so you never know. But I do think Horizon is an S tier, and it deserves to be on that tier. Next, you got Call the Shots, that I feel like most people kind of underrated. I mean, I think most people would put it in A and B, but for me, that Optimized feature, baby. Yeah, Optimized definitely killed it. I think I came in with one of my slickest verses ever. The hook is just to get you in the feel of the song, not really to stay with you, but it's more like, okay, this is a vibe. But yeah, moving on to next, You Came Back For Me. I mean, have you heard it? It's really the best intro easily that I've made, and I think it's just encompasses perfectly what I wanted it to be at the time. Kind of just mention what was going on in my life, kind of throw a few shots, you know, throw a few shots, and yeah, just be real and say, hey, this is me, this is what's going on, welcome to my life, welcome to this album, you're gonna get to know me. And then it perfectly transitions to Out of My Mind, that woo, I think I got like a top 3 or maybe a top 5, but most likely top 3 Gil verse that I've ever heard, to be honest. He definitely killed that. Optimized with that new flow, kind of new vibe, kind of just kind of scatter flow, but it's not like Eminem where it's garbage. Like here it actually works perfectly. And yeah, I definitely came in with some, you know, I definitely came in to set the scene a bit with my first verse, and the hook just so addictive. Honestly, compare this, I feel like for me, it gives off that off the grid effect, because I feel like I'm like the Playboy Cardi, kind of like you start off getting into it, it's like, okay, we feeling it. And then Gil just murders it, like 5 Yo murders like Off the Grid. And then Kanye on Off the Grid is like a nice closer to it all. And I feel like that's what Optimized did. But yeah, going into the final song in the S tier that I think might be my best song ever. I don't know about that. I'm literally just waffling right now and saying that's my best song, but I don't know. But yeah, it's Extroverted Outcast. Extroverted Outcast is surprisingly my first rock song, and it came out that good. Like, I remember I was making the verse, I made the second verse, and I was like, okay, this needs a killer hook. And I tried it, and it didn't work out. And I was like, shit, I need a killer hook on this. And then out of the blue, I swear out of the blue, I found SOS Legion. And then I listened to his catalog a bit, and I was like, okay, I need this dude. I need him. But yeah, then I messaged him. We worked on it. I said what I wanted for the hook. He delivered. And, ooh, that ending. I can't get over that ending. Just everything encompassing together. I think that's definitely like top 3 on the album. Just that last chorus, that last feeling. But yeah, I gotta say that's my my last S tier there. And looking at it now overall, like, I'm kind of all over the place. I think that if we're being realistic, there's definitely songs that are garbage, you know, definitely songs I'm not coming back to. But there's definitely songs that I feel like deserve that love and deserve so much more attention than they should. But yeah, that was my tier list. I feel like y'all get to know what I feel about my songs, being truthful 100%. And it was nice to make a YouTube video after a long time. I mean, I've just kind of been grinding with music, college, just life in general. And I feel like after 2 years of work, and I feel so grateful that I finally released my album after like a year and a half of work on When Voices Turn to Echoes. I had that title like planned for a long time, and I just didn't want to leak it because I knew this was going to be the album that changed it. Go ahead and listen and stream it. I'll put the links in the description, probably the pinned comment if I don't forget. I'll basically spam you with the links because you should listen to it. But yeah, take care, y'all. It's been fun, and peace.